This football season is just about wrapping up, and boy, the race for the 2025 Ballon d'Or is certainly heating up, shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable in recent memory. In this video, we'll be breaking down the leading candidates based on France football's official criteria, individual performances, trophies won, and fair play. According to the latest odds, the top contenders this time around aren't even your usual suspects. Instead, we are looking at a new generation of talent lighting up European football, from Ousmane Dembélé's resurgence to Lamine Yamal's explosive rise, and from Rafinha's brilliance on the wings to Lautaro Martínez and Mohamed Salah leading the line. Each of these players has a strong case to make. But before we get started, if you are as excited as we are to find out who wins the Ballon d'Or this year, and you want to keep up to date with all of the content surrounding it and sports in general, then make sure to first of all smash that like button, subscribe to the channel SportyTrader, and let's get this breakdown started. Let's talk first about the Egyptian king Mohamed Salah. In terms of individual performances, he's been nothing short of absolutely sensational this season. 36 goals and 24 assists. Those are world-class numbers, and they tell the story of a player who's not just consistent but also game-changing. Salah has rediscovered his very best form under new Liverpool boss Arne Slot. He's been electric on the wing, clinical in front of goal, and a nightmare for defenders. Simply put, if we were judging this award purely on numbers, Salah would be right at the very top. But now, when it comes to trophies, this is where things get a bit mixed. For sure, Salah played a massive part in Liverpool's Premier League title win, helping the Reds dominate this competition and reclaim their place at the top of English football. Don't get me wrong, that's a huge plus for his Ballon d'Or case. But on the European front, things did not go as planned. Liverpool suffered a shock last 16 exit in the Champions League, and even worse, Salah was practically invisible in their Carabao Cup final loss to Newcastle, a game where many expected him to shine. Attitude-wise though, Salah remains a model professional. He's fully respected by teammates, by coaches, and by fans alike. There's rarely any drama surrounding his behavior on the pitch, save for the few tantrums he throws when things aren't going all his way. His decision to also sign a new 2-year contract with Liverpool, and in months of speculation, also speaks volumes about his commitment and his professionalism. Our verdict though is that Salah has a strong case, especially with his Premier League winning season and his incredible stats. But compared to others on this list who may have shown more on the European stage, he might just fall short. Now here's a man who bleeds for the badge, Lautaro Martínez. This season, 25 goals and 8 assists across all competitions, he's once again been the heartbeat of Inzaghi's team. Not just a poacher, Lautaro is an absolute warrior. He leads the line with fire in his belly, presses relentlessly, and gives everything for the cause. But let's talk trophies, because that's where the Ballon d'Or is often won or lost. Just a couple of weeks ago, Lautaro had a genuine shot at a historic treble. Inter were absolutely flying, top of the Serie A in the Coppa Italia semis, and gearing up for a massive Champions League semi-final against Barcelona. But then, as it often does, football happened. A rough patch saw them lose 3 in a row, crash out of the Coppa Italia at the hands of their bitter rivals AC Milan, and surrender their league lead to Napoli. Suddenly, it all looked like it might fall apart. But here is where Lautaro showed what he's made of. Injured in the first leg against Barcelona, he went off at halftime, and many feared his season was over. But just 6 days later, and he was back. Not only back though, but pivotal, scoring first on the night to help drag Inter into their second Champions League final in just 3 seasons. That's right there, ladies and gentlemen, it's Ballon d'Or spirits. When it comes to attitude and fair play though, admittedly Lautaro wears his heart on his sleeve. He's emotional, yes, but I think he channels it in the right way. There's no diving, no antics, no ego. Just a player who gives everything for the shirt and never backs down from a challenge. Our verdict is Lautaro is the dark horse in this Ballon d'Or race. He may not be the flashiest name on the list, but what he lacks in headlines, he makes up for in pure heart. If he goes on to lift the Champions League trophy this season, then he might not just deserve a nomination, he could actually deserve the top prize. What a transformation. At the start of the season, Rafinha's name was floating around the transfer lists. Barcelona wanted Nico Williams, and as for Rafinha, well, he was seen as expendable. Fast forward to now though, and he's the one carrying Barcelona's attack. Just look at the numbers. 37 goals, 25 assists in all competitions. That's not just good, that's Ballon d'Or contender good. Rafinha has become the most decisive player in Hansi Flick's front line, outshining bigger names, silencing critics, and proving himself indispensable. In terms of trophies, Rafinha has already lifted 2 this season, the Copa del Rey and the Supercopa de España, and culminated in Barcelona lifting La Liga this season. He was a major force behind all of these wins too, regularly stepping up in key moments for the Blaugrana. Barcelona were certainly dreaming of the Champions League this season though, and we have to admit he got them painfully close. Unfortunately, that dream collapsed against Inter Milan in the semi-finals, despite him being instrumental across the 2 legs with what looked like would be the winning goal in the second leg, and that exit could seriously dent his Ballon d'Or chances this year. What about his attitude though? Well, Rafinha plays with flair and intensity, but he also generally keeps it respectful. Some people have pointed to him having a bit of an ego, but considering the pressure he's been under, nearly sold and constantly rotated at the start of the season, I think he's responded with pure professionalism. Our verdict is Rafinha is certainly the wild card in this Ballon d'Or race. He's got the stats, he's got the silverware, but without that Champions League trophy, I think he might just fall short. Okay, so let's not tiptoe around it. Lamine Yamal is the most gifted young talent football has ever seen. Yeah, Messi and Ronaldo fans, I said it. The two GOATs just weren't doing what Yamal is doing at this age. Guys, at just 17 years old, he's already being whispered about in Ballon d'Or conversations. Why? Because he's delivering at the very top level. This season alone, he's registered 16 goals and 25 assists while playing week in, week out for a massive club like Barcelona. Guys, let's face it, that is just not normal. Just to let you understand, when Messi was 17, he had 1 goal, 0 assists. Ronaldo, 5 goals, 4 assists. It's actually crazy. When you watch Barcelona play, you realize Yamal has been the most consistent and creative attacking force for his side. Game after game, he's the one opponents fear, and often he's the one deciding results. And in terms of trophies, he's already lifted the Copa del Rey and the Supercopa de España, as well as the big prize, the La Liga trophy, and he was instrumental in all of those runs. But where Yamal really turned heads was in the Champions League. His performance against Inter Milan, absolutely ridiculous. He tore apart one of Europe's best defenses this season like a seasoned veteran. When it comes to his attitude, I think many people, because of his age, expect Yamal to buckle under the weight of the pressure, but even then, he plays with a certain swagger and arrogance reserved for the very best and most experienced players. He's already acting like a leader even among older teammates. So what's our verdict? Well, it's important to remember that no player has ever won the Ballon d'Or before turning 21, but I think Lamine Yamal might be the one to break that record even if it's not this year. If he continues like this though well into next season, then don't be too surprised if he makes history in 2025. Let's face it guys, no one, and I mean no one, expected this from Ousmane Dembélé this season. For years, he's been seen as one of football's great what-ifs. Well, in 2025, that narrative has certainly flipped on its head. The redemption arc is complete, and Ousmane Dembélé is now a Ballon d'Or frontrunner. He scored 35 goals and added 12 assists in all competitions this season, leading PSG to yet another Ligue 1 title and the Trophée des Champions. But forget about the domestic scene. It's his Champions League impact that puts him in the Ballon d'Or conversation. Dembélé has been electric in Europe's elite competition. He scored at Anfield against Liverpool. He scored again at the Emirates against Arsenal. He's been PSG's most clutch performer in this competition. And now, with PSG in the Champions League final, he's 1 win away from the most complete season of his career. In terms of trophies, a European treble is still on the table. If PSG managed to do the job in the final, Dembélé will have helped deliver the one trophy that has always eluded the Parisians, and he'll have done it not as a passenger, but as the driving force of the team. As for his attitude and fair play, this in my opinion has been one of the biggest surprises. Dembélé has shown maturity and immense focus under Luis Enrique, keeping his discipline and managing for the first time in his career to stay injury-free. No petulance, no off-field noise, just consistent excellence and a clear desire to prove the doubters wrong. So then, what's our verdict? verdict. With the Champions League final looming, he is right now the man to beat in the Ballon d'Or race. And in my opinion, if PSG manage to lift that trophy, then this could very well be Dembélé's crowning year. So there you have it, gang. 5 incredible contenders, each with a strong case for the 2025 Ballon d'Or. If we are being honest though, this list could substantially be shuffled around or even changed entirely as award season rolls around. So let us know who your picks are for the top prize in the comments below. If you want to stay up to date as well with all the Ballon d'Or news and updated odds, be sure to check that out on our website SportyTrader.com, where we'll be covering all things football and Ballon d'Or related. And please make sure to leave a like on today's video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel SportyTrader, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.